In this film, we aim to demonstrate T-Soft, new surgical technique for soft cataract. The authors have no financial interest in the subject matter of this film. Phacoemulsification of soft cataracts poses special challenges for the surgeon. Quite often, these softer cataracts are hard to crack as current chopping and cracking techniques are often ineffective. These soft nuclei have a different character to them, and it takes a different technique to manage these soft nuclei. If the lens is very soft with almost absent nucleus, the simplest strategy is to simply prolapse the soft nucleus into the anterior chamber and then simply remove the lens with the phaco needle with epinuclear settings or phacoaspirate the lens material. Soft cataracts with a bit of hardness is probably the most difficult cataract to manage because neither the current techniques for very soft cataracts nor the conventional chopping and cracking techniques with high vacuum and power settings are effective. Choppers and phacoprobe cheese wire through the nucleus and make it difficult to hold and crack the nucleus with chop settings. But the principle behind the majority of current surgical strategies in cataracts with a bit of hardness is to achieve soft nuclear fracture after deep sculpting close to the posterior capsule and after complete hydrodissection and hydrodelineation. Deep sculpting and grooving to fracture the nucleus when used for soft cataract increases the risk of injury with early penetration into the capsular bag, leading to the posterior capsular tear. Chopping maneuvers in these soft cataract often results in incomplete segmentation, leading to piecemeal removal of the nucleus, but only after prolonged and stressful manipulation. We describe an efficient new technique, T-Soft, the equatorial chop for soft cataract with some brittleness, which can be easily adopted for safe and effective removal of the soft cataract. T-Soft utilizes a unique mechanics to break and split the soft nuclei into two complete segments with much ease and minimal manipulation. In this technique, consonant to principle of terminal chop for hard cataract, a specially designed blunt tip chopper called terminator is used to initiate a unique dispersive mechanical force to create a full thickness nuclear crack at the equator, which automatically traverses through the center of the nucleus over to the equator on the other side. Lateral separation of both the instruments placed at the equator, parallel to each other, propagate the initial crack, splitting the entire soft nucleus into two complete halves. Each half of the soft nuclei is then simply flipped and drawn by the phacoprobe and emulsified. This technique was primarily developed and described by Prasad et al. In 2017. We have additionally found that this technique is quite useful and also the most effective strategy in cases of soft cataracts with some brittleness, regardless of surgical experience. In this technique, unlike in terminal chop for hard cataract, a low vacuum with very low phaco power is used to hold the nucleus at the equator, then initiate fracture with the help of the terminator, the olive tip blunt wedge shaped chopper. Low vacuum and low power is very important as the phaco needle can rapidly move through the soft lens material into the capsule without any hold on the nucleus. The idea is to use phaco needle to hold and support the soft nucleus, while blunt chopper with wedge inner edge and broad posterior surface is used to initiate the crack and split the nucleus into two complete segments. To achieve equatorial nuclear cracking, following steps are taken. Corneal incisions with two side ports, approximately 2 clock hours from the main incisions are made. A large center capsular axis with an intended 5.5 to 6 mm diameter is made. Hydrodissection is accomplished using a hydrodissection needle and confirmed by rotating the nucleus to certify that it is totally free inside the capsular bag. Then with epinuclear settings, the phaco tip is engaged at the distal end of the trench. Then without penetrating deep into the center of the nucleus, phaco probe is impaled superficially, keeping the tip directed towards the equator parallel to the pupillary plane to achieve firm hold of the nucleus just within the equator. While nucleus is firmly held in position, the equator of the nucleus is slightly drawn within the capsulotomy edge. Then under the direct visualization, terminator is very simply passed and hooked around the equator. Chopper is then simply dragged just 1.5 to 2 mm through the open edge equator of the nucleus to create a small groove. But while creating the groove, the wedge inner edge and broad posterior surface of the chopper generate tension and dispersive forces along the sides of the groove and initiates a full thickness nuclear crack. Once the complete nuclear division is achieved, the nucleus is then rotated 90 degrees and the same procedure is repeated to further chop the nucleus into multiple fragments. Once nuclear division and fragmentation is complete, each free lens fragments then drawn and emulsified by the phaco probe. In this unique mechanics of T-Soft Terminator, the new chopper plays an important role, as critical instrument maneuvers to crack and split the nucleus is performed by the chopper along with phaco probe. The tip is approximately 1.25 mm to 1.5 mm in length and angled 85 degrees in relation to the remaining distal portion. The inner surface of the tip is blunt wedge edge angled 60 degrees to access to safely hook, crack and embrace the lens equator without threatening the posterior capsule. To conclude, T-Soft is a very simple, swift and safe technique to split the soft nucleus into two complete full thickness segments for easier phacoemulsification. T-Soft has very few steps and require minimal manipulation of intraocular structures, providing a safe and reliable way of chopping a soft nucleus within the capsular bag. Since it is totally separated and free-floating segments at the level of the capsular axis, it is quite easy to draw the segment on phaco tip and aspirate. Thank you for being with T-Soft, new technique for soft cataract fracture in this video demonstration.